All right, I don't know about you guys, but I am super, super excited about this. I'm a huge fan of both of these guys as far as the technology world is concerned, as far as what they've been able to accomplish on the for the internet space and what they've done. Mark Zuckerberg, obviously the creator of Facebook, owner of Meta, which includes WhatsApp and Instagram as well, which are like tools that pretty much everybody, at least in this country, uses at least in one form or another. Lex Fridman, I'm a huge fan of his podcast. He's also a great ambassador for martial arts. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He's done various different styles of martial arts, Greco-Roman wrestling, and other styles of grappling as well. And they're both very, very nice, humble individuals, very intellectual, very smart. Very different from what your typical stereotypical MMA fighter is, who's all like all big and brawn and like loudmouth. No, these guys are just more like of more the intellectual type. Which, believe it or not, you find a lot more of the intellectual types in martial arts like jiu-jitsu because of the chess solving nature of what martial arts really is. But with that aside, let's get into this. I can't wait to watch this and see what goes on. So. Alright, so right away, Lex goes ahead and just goes for the shoulder control. Mark tries to get a collar tie, immediately controls the elbow, which allows Lex to control the arm. Pulls guard. Now, it is worth mentioning that Lex, again, he's a black belt. He has over 15 years of experience training jiu-jitsu, as well as sambo, as well as Greco-Roman style. Zuckerberg started martial arts probably about 2 to 3 years ago, I think. So again, the skill disparity is very, very different. What we're gonna see here is they're gonna be flow rolling because it doesn't make sense for them to do full live rolling. So which means they're just taking it easy. They're not going for the submission every single time. They're not trying to kill each other. They're just taking it slowly, going from transition to transition. They're allowing the other person to score some points just for the sake of continuing the exercise. So if you're watching this and you're not familiar with how jiu-jitsu guys train, just understand that they're not trying to go hard. They're not trying to kill each other. They're not trying to they're not trying to murder one another. They're just helping each other train, going from position to position to position. They're not trying to sub each other, but if they do see a submission available, they're gonna go for it. But only if it's like definitely available. Other than that, they're mostly fighting for position and transition. So just so you guys understand what we're watching together. So Lex immediately pulls guard. Zuckerberg goes ahead and controls the leg, and he's to either throw it to the side or just to dump him over. So Lex is just waiting to see what happens. Boom. Oh, so he steps over. Lex immediately grabs the left leg, and then Mark feels him grab for the legs, and he steps back. Oh, we'd like to see a little bit more hip pressure from Zuck. We'd like to see him work on a sprawl a little bit. But it's not bad. Goes for the neck. Boom. Transitions. He needs to get back on top. Lex gets back up, stands up, goes for the single leg. Mark steps back. Zuck pushed the head down, and which brought Lex's tension up. Then as soon as his tension went up, he shot down for the single leg. Gives up the single leg and just goes to the back. Ooh, good duck over. Controls his hips from the back. Goes back to the front and takes the leg and just circles him down to the ground. So Marks definitely likes to be on top. Definitely a good position. He's very comfortable attacking the guard. Allows Lex to get back up. He's good at pressuring Lex's head. Lex is really good at not letting it bother him. He just gives him the head and just ducks down and looks for an attack somewhere else. Gets the collar tie, shoots in, gets the single leg. And that was so nice. He gave him a really nice soft trip and brought him down to the ground. He could have tripped him and slammed him to the ground, but he didn't. He just let him down gently. So he has his knee on his belly, but he's not putting his weight on the knee on belly, so which is really nice of him. He goes for the side control, takes his back, immediately controls takes Mark's arm and just breaks it. Well, he doesn't really break it. So again, it's really, really important to note that Lex is going out 1% right now. You can tell because he's extremely comfortable in his movements. His movements are very slow, they're very soft, and they're very purposeful. He moves very, very little, but when he does move, it's a very good movement. Zuck is definitely a little bit more chaotic right now. He definitely moves around a little bit more. There's a lot of waist movements. This is not to throw shade at Zuck. It's just, just observing things that he could work on. He definitely needs a little bit deeper of a control on the leg. He's a little bit... yep, there you go. I was going to say he needs to get higher up on the knee. As soon as he got above the knee, Lex went down. He brought Lex down pretty hard, too. Zuck pushed the head down, and which brought Lex's tension up. Then as soon as his tension went up, he shot down for the single leg. Gives up the single leg and just goes to the back. Ooh, good duck over. Controls his hips from the back. Goes back to the front and takes the leg and just circles him down to the ground. So Marks definitely likes to be on top. Definitely a good position. He's very comfortable attacking the guard. Allows Lex to get back up. He's good at pressuring Lex's head. Well, Lex is really good at not letting it bother him. He just gives him the head and just ducks down and looks for an attack somewhere else. Gets the collar tie, shoots in, gets the single leg. And that was so nice. He gave him a really nice soft trip and brought him down to the ground. He could have tripped him and slammed him to the ground, but he didn't. He just let him down gently. So he has his knee on his belly, but he's not putting his weight on the knee on belly, so which is really nice of him. He goes for the side control, takes his back, immediately controls takes Mark's arm and just breaks it. Well, he doesn't really break it. So again, it's really, really important to note that Lex is going out 1% right now. You can tell because he's extremely comfortable in his movements. His movements are very slow, they're very soft, and they're very purposeful. He moves very, very little, but when he does move, it's a very good movement. Zuck is definitely a little bit more chaotic right now. He definitely moves around a little bit more. There's a lot of waist movements. This is not to throw shade at Zuck. It's just, just observing things that he could work on. He definitely needs a little bit deeper of a control on the leg. He's a little bit... yep, there you go. I was going to say he needs to get higher up on the knee. As soon as he got above the knee, Lex went down. He brought Lex down pretty hard, too. So goes around, takes the back. He needs to establish a grip, get a grip, Muck. Zuck. I call him Muck. Zuckerberg. He gets him in north-south. Boom. He tries to get the shoulder in. Gets his shoulder in. He isolates. Oh, perfect. He isolates the other arm behind the shoulder. And right over here, he needs to just drop the weight. And there should be a tap. Right there. Very, very good. So they're just going slowly. They're just flowing through it right now. So again, Mark loves that hand on the shoulder and pushing Lex's head away. But again, right over there. But Lex is really good at not letting it bother him. He either just ducks his head to the side and just goes for the Mark's right leg, or in this, which is what he normally did. But right over here, he just continues to hand fight. Boom. See, he just ducks the head down and goes for the single leg every single time. Boom. He has Lex in a front headlock, but he doesn't have the right angles to secure a guillotine. Lex should be breaking out of this pretty soon. Boom. Mark locks in the guard. Yep, gets the guard. And Lex is really nice. He doesn't pick him up. He just goes ahead and passes the guard. Now he's back on top. Now he's gonna hit. I think he hit him with did he Ezekiel him? Yep, he hits him with an Ezekiel, and that's it. All right. Here we go. Mark hits him with a single leg of his own. Does the same drag him down, but he doesn't have a follow up. He just takes him down, but he doesn't establish position, which is where he's messing up at. So pretty much here's what I mean. So he has a single leg. He takes him down, but then he just lets go. He just lets him go to the ground, and then Lex just immediately gets his frames up, and then Mark has to fight past his guard now. So he has a gift wrap going on, kind of a weird gift wrap. He's fighting for the neck. Gets the hooks in. Don't cross your legs, Mark. Very, very good. He doesn't cross his legs. He has Lex on his back. Lex is and he takes a choke, and Lex gives it to him. So back again. Lex immediately pulls guard. Right. So really good. So Mark goes ahead and just tries to gain control of the legs, and then just continues to circle around, and gets and immediately gets the back. Lex tries to roll out of it, rolls right into Mark's hooks. So Mark is trying to isolate this arm right now by hooking it with the leg, but Lex immediately just buries the arm to the side and pushes it over so that his arm doesn't get trapped over here, and then he just immediately starts circling out with his body and then turns on over. So he's out of danger, but Mark still has his back. Now Mark definitely needs to work on his pressure. So like right now, like he's standing a little bit too much. His chest is connected to Lex's back, but he needs to lower his weight more, because right over here, if you could lower your weight on the other guy's back, it absolutely sucks. But again, Mark's a little bit new, so it's perfectly fine. So he just goes ahead and just sits back and tries to take his back, but Lex just immediately just gets his back to the mat. So pretty much right over here, when someone takes your back like that, your goal is to get your head to the mat right over here, which Lex does beautifully. And then once your head is to the mat, then you get your back to the mat. So his upper back and his head are to the mat. That allows you to step over the other guy's leg, like what he's doing over here, and then you circle on out. You get your knee in between, and you create space. Beautiful framing from Lex. It's almost like he's a black belt or something, right? So boom. Immediately gets past his guard by swapping sides, going left and right. Beautiful motion. Beautiful motions. Ooh, so right over here, so Lex immediately steps right over, gets his leg right up next to Mark's legs, so that he's just gonna shove his leg over and replace his leg with his leg, and then boom, and right there he's past the guard and he is on top. He's on mount position. He gets the shoulder into Mark's neck. Mark bridges out of it. Beautiful bridge. He gets the octopus guard. He just immediately tackles and takes Lex to the ground. Lex immediately just establishes some distance right over here. He gets the frame in, and then Mark's controlling both of the arms, but he's not entirely sure what to do right now. So one thing he definitely needs to do is learn how to apply his weight more heavily onto Lex, because like right over here, like every time he gets a strong position on top, Lex has all the room in the world to move around right now because of the amount of space between his chest and his chest. Like usually, when you're in this position, you want to drop your chest onto the other guy's chest and kind of like squeeze the air out of them. Mark's not really doing that right now, which is allowing Lex to just bridge and frame, and then get his knee in between, and then push Mark away. So boom, he rushes in, takes the leg, immediately takes it back. And how are you going to sit him down? Oh, he does that same thing again. Sits down, grab the leg, and twists him down to the ground. So again, like Mark doesn't have a follow-up. So as soon as he gets the leg, he takes him down to the ground. Like this is a perfect opportunity to either just step over and go for a knee cut, or you can just or just find another way to just gain control of the body, or just find a way to press forward, or you can even do some sick, beautiful leg attacks over here. But he just goes like that, and he just lets him go, and then he just doesn't follow up. So Mark definitely needs a good follow up after his after he gets the sweep or takedown. Beautiful roll from Lex over here. He's on bottom. Mark has him in north-south. Okay, ooh, perfect. That's beautiful right there. So this is what I'm talking about. He finally gets when he needs to follow up. So when they go ahead and they separate because they're about to collide into one another, Lex moves backwards, but Mark immediately doesn't give him space. So right over here, he does it beautifully. Doesn't give him space. He controls the arm. He gets his upper body pressure down, and he slides his arm in between into his neck, and tap. Beautiful, beautiful control. Mark really isn't bad for a guy who got started later in his life. Like, this is really good movement. Are there things to work on? Absolutely. Is he a white belt and his Lex a black belt? Yeah, but he shows a lot of good control. He's not like rushing in. He's not trying to like murder Lex. Like he's obviously outclassed, but he's also not panicking either. Boom. So Lex goes in. Boom. Beautiful. That was a beautiful dump. So that was such a sick setup. So boom, gets his back to the cage. Boom. So I feel like this might be a spot where Mark might have an advantage over Lex, is because Mark actually trains MMA, and in MMA they teach you how to fight off of cages. They teach you how to fight off of walls. They don't really teach that in jiu-jitsu, because in jiu-jitsu competitions there are no walls, there are no cages. It's just wide open mat. So when Mark realizes that Lex has him on the back, boom, he immediately just turns and gets him gets his back to the wall, where Lex probably, I'm willing to guess, I don't know if he's trained MMA before, but I'm willing to bet that Lex has never trained with his back to the mat, back to the cage. So with his back to the cage, his attention is on top. Mark immediately drops his weight, drops and everything. Definitely wants to see a little bit more squatting, but that's perfectly fine. I'm just nitpicking at this point. Just goes ahead and just takes his legs and brings him down. That's something you see a lot more of in MMA than you see in jiu-jitsu. So that was actually really beautiful. Boom. And now they're back up. Lex also looks like he has about like 25 pounds on him. 3 inches in height, 25 pounds. Boom. So Lex taking him a little bit more seriously now. Ooh! That was just a huge display of Lex's skill right over there. So I'm gonna watch that again. So, okay, so they're on top. Mark locks down this leg right over here. Lex is controlling his arm right over here with a beautiful leg right over here. So this is going to prevent Mark's left arm from doing anything. So you can see it's right here, it's on his shoulder, and it's pushing his left arm back. And he has 2 points of contact, and this third one right over here. So whereas Mark, he only has one thing to fight Lex with, which is his right arm. So this is already a losing position for Mark, which is 3 limbs versus 1. Boom. He tries to get past. Boom. He can't. And then right over here, so Lex set up a beautiful trap right over here. So Lex stays on his back. Mark sees that he comes on in. He steps on in right over here, and he creates a huge opening in between his legs. And then Lex is on his back. And Mark is completely distracted by Lex's legs right over here. Boom. And as Mark comes on in, Lex's hips are just really low right now, and there's a nice little space. He just shoots both legs in, and then sits up really fast and gains. And as he sits up, he takes his right arm, controls Mark's left arm, drags him down, and with the other arm gains complete control over the legs. So now this leg and this arm belong to Lex. Mark has no more limbs to fight against Lex right now. And then Lex thinks he has a control, but then so he tries to drop his weight, but then Lex immediately just fish hooks this leg off the ground. So now his base is gone, and takes his left leg, just shoots it right in between, and he goes for a beautiful, it looks like an X guard, I'm not sure, but I think it's an X guard. Yep. And then sits Mark down. Boom, right over there, just tips him right over, and now Mark, who thought he had the advantage because he was on top, just gets completely demolished. and sits and gets sat down. And now Mark is on bottom. Lex hops on back on top. Knee on belly, passes guard, drops his weight, and Ezekiel chokes him. Oh my god, that was so beautiful. I gotta watch that again from start to finish. So boom, he drops him. Circles around. That can't quite get the grips. Takes his arm and he backs up, creates space. Poor Mark. Mark shoots on in, brings Lex to the ground. He actually tries to follow up this time, so he's showing improvements. Boom, steps on in. Lex sets the trap. Mark steps in. Lex just slides on in, gets the leg, and just X guards him right over. Such a beautiful. Passes his guard. Boom, gets on top, mounts him down, pressures him down, and boom, chokes him right there. Beautiful chokes. And I think this is their last round together. Yep, and that was it. That was absolutely beautiful. Is there any more? Nope, that's it. Woo! So, I definitely enjoyed that a lot. Again, I'm a huge fan of both of these guys. I love the fact that they're bringing the world of martial arts to people in a way that it's in a more of a calm, intelligent, intellectual way, rather than like the way that the UFC does it. Which no disrespect to the UFC, what Dana does, he's done amazing things for the world of martial arts, but it is really nice to see like the nice calm sideness of martial arts versus like the big brawn and like boldness that is the UFC, that is like most Western promotions. But I definitely enjoyed that a lot. I hope to see a lot more of this. If Elon and Mark Zuckerberg fight, I am 100% buying tickets and flying my ass out there to watch them fight wherever they are. And if they don't, it's cool. I still love the fact that these guys are doing martial arts and showcasing it and bringing it in a very positive way to the world. Thank you very much. Hope you all enjoyed that. In the meantime, have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.